So this one's about building a team. So I'm a good planner and I'm not afraid to invest in scaling for growth. And I'd like to build a team of 2 or 3 content creators and virtual assistants. So what should I keep in mind so I do that effectively and efficiently? I don't want to burn through cash without a good return.
Yeah. The biggest thing that we do when we hire people, and we've had a couple different goes at this, we've been building teams now for quite a while.
Some more
successfully than others. We've definitely hired the wrong people at times. So we've failed at this miserably. So we're going to pass that on to you. And then we've also succeeded. Recently our team is just on all cylinders clicking, and it's because of all the lessons we've learned. So I think the biggest thing is, number one, you've got to hire, especially virtual assistants. You want to get people on ability and attitude, not necessarily the exact skill set. You want people definitely to have the skills for the job, but we've learned more and more that as you hire people, it's more you're giving them multiple tasks than you're creating a job description. We all get lost in the corporate world and the real world of, I have a secretary and this person answers the phone and this person does this, and I have a marketing guy and he does the marketing coordinator. Well, we have people on our content team. One person does the audio visual and edits things, but the other person is like the writer or the transcriber, right? But then they go back and they check each other. So they're taking on editing roles. We were going to hire one person for social media, but then we learned, well, wait a minute, the video person's already dealing with YouTube and things like that. Let's just let that person go and share videos on Facebook and deal with that kind of sharing. But then this other person can take our text sharing, like our tweets and things like that, tweetables for our podcast. And we're starting to figure out that if you just hire good people first, then you can give them the tasks as you go. And then the second thing I would say about hiring, and this is something we've learned the hard way, is there's a really bad thing in building a team called single point sensitivity. You've got to have redundancy in case somebody goes down, somebody's sick. You've got to have multiple people that can do the same job in a pinch, or at least train somebody up real quick if you need to replace somebody. We had an employee that was with us and she left to go to another job, and it left us in a horrific bind because she was basically doing everything for us. And at that point we were like, okay, never again. So now we try to hire, we create redundancy. We have 2 or 3 people that at least know the basics of doing each job so that they can jump in if somebody fails. So when you hire people, hire their backup as fast as possible, and always be training, doubling up on your training to make sure that you're not in that single point sensitivity situation.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
Yeah, I would say the most important thing for me is systems and procedures. You have to have 100% rock solid systems and procedures in place when you hire someone and you start training them. Get them to make a procedure for everything. We basically have a procedures manual for every business. So if
and our house.
And our household stuff. So if somebody quits or, heaven forbid, is in a terrible accident or something happens, we have a way to train someone easily and quickly. The way that I do this most of the time is with videos. So I do a lot of screen capture videos showing my assistants what I want them to do. From the video, they create a document to go into the procedures manual,
which is basically a bulleted list or a checklist.
And that's there forever. So if there's ever a question, we have a library of videos that they can go back and watch, so I don't have to constantly answer the same questions over and over.
You just listened to an excerpt from this week's Flip Lifestyle podcast. To listen to the full podcast, complete with the show notes, photos, and links mentioned in the show, click the link on the description below. You can click on these to listen to Shane and Jocelyn answer other important questions about online business from this week's guest. For updates on future episodes, make sure you click subscribe.